Hello everyone and welcome to Shell Space. I'm your host Ross13 and today we are looking at the Mercuone unit from Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise. I finally got this unit in and I'm really excited to show it off to you guys, though sadly I don't have the weapons for it yet. Like the other ones, Bandai decided to sell the weapons separately and that still bugs me a little bit, but that's neither here nor there right now. For right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. So, the box is actually pretty neat. We got a neat illustration of the core Gundam with the Mercuone armor on it, but they sort of did kind of a translucent glowy effect on the core Gundam, probably to show that basically this stuff isn't actually included. That's right, unlike the other ones, the core Gundam does not come with this set. So I had to improvise, but we'll get into that later. So we got the illustration here, and then we have some renders or photographs of the armor and flyer unit itself. Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, HD Build Divers are Mercuone unit, Hiruto's support unit, and all that again in Japanese. Bandai Spirits 2020 came out this year, so this is a more recent kit. Then we have little write-ups about everything. I'll let all of y'all read that. This looks to be using just the regular core Gundam in it. And that's not what I'm doing. But again, we'll get into that. On this side, we have the same illustration as before, plus all the usual information, BandaiHobby.net. On this side, we have more photos and write-ups. The usual warnings. And the barcode with no yen price, because why? And then this side, same as the other. So, that's enough of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kit itself. Whoosh! 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 And here is the actual kit. Let me see if I can get a little bit of better light on this. And I gotta say, it looks pretty neat. The lack of weapons does make this seem a little plain, but the fact that it has actual wings or something that looks like wings goes a long way to making this feel like a believable flying unit of some sort. Though I gotta admit, the sort of webbed diver feet thing going on here makes me think of a penguin. And you know what? That's not a bad thing in my book. So as you can see, this unit comes in a very sort of dark navy blue, and then your standard dark gray that we've seen on it, and a little bit of white. And that's all this comes with. But it looks pretty cool. It would be better if it had its weapons. I don't have any of the other flyers that you've seen before set up for comparison, and I really don't want to break those armors down, put them together again, because I've been finding that kind of weakens the connections on them, and then they start falling off of the core Gundam, and I don't want to do that. But I do have one flyer unit that you guys haven't seen. Whoosh! That's right, I have the Jupitive Gundam flyer thing. So this is another one that doesn't have any weapons on it, but that's because it has all of its extra stuff sold with the kit, I guess. But, so that's what these two look together. Kind of neat seeing them together like this. There's that really cool shot at the beginning of the second opening where you see all the flyers laid out with the core Gundam, and I would love to reproduce that, but I'm probably never going to, just because it would be a pain to set up and could potentially damage the kit afterwards. But there we are. So let's go ahead and get this combined with the Gundam in question. In this case, we are going to be using the G3 colors of the core Gundam, because I happened to get a couple of these when they were being sold for really, really cheap on Amazon. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. And I think these colors might look good together. If not, I may repaint this. I have a couple ideas that we may try out. We'll see. But for now, let's combine them together. And here is the Mercuone Gundam itself, all set up. Like I said before, this is using the G3 Colors Core Gundam. And I think the colors actually work pretty well with this. I kind of like seeing these purples next to the navy blues. And I still don't have the weapons for this set. So as it is, it's kind of lackluster. It looks nice, but there's no extra part of it. If I remember correctly, there's like a sort of special backpack and a bigger gun and a couple other little accessories that really add to the Mercuone, and they're sold separately. I'm going to get them eventually, but the crazy thing was that they were separated by a month or two from this guy, and I think maybe they've just now gone on sale. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, so in that respect, it's hard to provide a recommendation on this. I like this. I think it looks really cool, but not having the weapons is a very big drawback on it. Right now, I have them equipped with the blaster that the V3 comes with. That's the other part that's a little bit weird with this. It doesn't come with its own core Gundam. All the others have. And this one not doing that just seems really weird. I mean, it makes a certain amount of sense in the respect that this thing only showed up in like, what, 2 or 3 episodes at the most? And with it being an aquatic suit, it's probably not going to show up again necessarily, except for probably some sort of big finale thing at the end of the series when he calls out all of the Planet Gundams and they do some sort of big Hisatsu finisher attack. I don't know. Anyway, some cool details about this thing is I like how the instead of an extra V-fin, this thing goes over the face and basically makes sort of like a little aquatic dive mask. I like these sort of feathery fin-like wing things on the side, and I like that it has the webbed feet. It really sells the idea that this is an aquatic mobile suit. So in that respect, it's pretty darn cool. Let's go ahead and compare it to the others in the line. So, we'll set this guy aside, and first out is the V2 Gundam with all of his stuff. Still in the last pose that I put him in. Then, next up is the Earth 3 Gundam, which, I have to admit, compared to these, looks pretty darn plain. And then we have the Mars 4 Gundam, which can barely fit in panel. Let's move this back a little bit. There we go. Tilt the camera up a bit. And quick little preview. There's the Jupe 5 Gundam. But you'll see that guy a little bit more later. So yeah, I think the coolest part of this is just having them all together. And the colors actually flow kind of nicely as well. There's a part of me that would love to get these all again, potentially, and do them up as the Sailor Scouts or Sailor Senshi from Sailor Moon. That concept kind of amuses me, and it'd be interesting to see. I would have to do a lot of extensive repainting, though. Except for Mars here, because Mars is kind of already on target for that. But, yeah. Set those aside. So, yeah, I dig this guy, but it's a hard sell. The lack of weapons and the lack of the core Gundam means that there is some other stuff that you're going to have to get in order to get the most out of this kit. Otherwise, you're left with just the flyer. Which, I mean, I suppose that has some value because it's a bunch of parts, but yeah. Anyway, that has been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all those fun YouTube things. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.